Hey, everybody. I hope that you guys are doing great today. I'm excited to chat with you. Every Tuesday, we go live here in our VA Savvies community and over on YouTube just to chat, to hang out, and to talk about all things virtual assistants, freelancing, working from home. And I'm very excited to chat about those things today. Particularly, we're going to be talking about how to run a business as a mom. So, if you're a mom here, thinking about becoming a mom, if you are a parent of any sort, or if you just have a lot of things to balance in your life, honestly, these tips will still apply. But I'm excited to chat with you just about my experience of starting a business as a mom. Some of you guys know my story, and you know that when I first started virtual assistants, I was a mom to my two, well, she was two then. She's now almost nine. Oh my gosh, my baby. But she was two at the time, and I was pregnant with my second child. And, being a mom was a huge reason that I started my business, was because I wanted the freedom and flexibility to work when I wanted to work. So it was really the catalyst for this entire thing, right? Was, man, I want a way to make money working from home for that flexibility. And so you guys may have a similar why as me, right? Um, Go ahead if you have like your why, post it in the comments. Mine was definitely that freedom lifestyle, right? I wanted to be able to pick up and go to my kids' school events, once they were in school, which they are now. I wanted to be able to be there for them if they were sick. I wanted to not have to ask a boss if I just needed a day off, right? By the way, I always felt like mental health days should be sick days. Like that when I was working for an actual employer. I'm like, some days you just need a mental health day. And I wanted the freedom to be able to do that if I needed that in my business, right? And so I learned a couple of things through now, oh my goodness, like 6 years of running a business and being a mom of two littles. So I'm going to chat and just share some of the things that I've learned. I'd love to hear from you guys too in the comments. What has helped you if you are caring for somebody? I know Edwina says, if I said your name right, Edwina, maybe, saying that you care for your mom, and same thing, like if you have other people in your life that you are responsible to take care of, right? What are some of the things that can help you with that? So that's what we're going to be chatting about today. Before we jump in, guys, oh my gosh, we are so close to hitting 100,000 members inside of our virtual assistant savvies group. I am so pumped. We're having a huge party in order to celebrate. So, we're going to be giving over $15,000 in prizes away, from courses to free swag to we just got a year Dubsado membership donated to us from Becca over at Dubsado. And so we have just tons of amazing giveaways that we are going to be doing on this day. So if you want to be entered for the giveaways, go to thevirtualsavvy.com/savvy party. Also, if you live in the Dallas Fort Worth area, or if you're anywhere within driving distance of the Dallas Fort Worth area, we're going to be doing a live party. So this event, which is happening virtually, we're also going to have a live element, which will include like a meet and greet. We'll probably do a little champagne toast to celebrate, live giveaways at that event as well. So if you want to be a part of that, all of the information is at thevirtualsavvy.com/savvy party as well. I would love to get to meet some of you guys in person if you live in the Texas area at all. Okay. There is a cost to those tickets, but it's a pretty low cost event. And honestly, reach out to me if you can't swing the cost, because we just want to have you there, right? It's just to kind of supplement for the snacks and things that we're having. So I would love to have you guys there. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. Balancing mom and business. I see some of you guys posting your why: freedom, flexibility, and family. I'm a military mom, need the flexibility of having a business that goes with me wherever I am. 100% freedom, travel, spending more time with my husband, having the best life and marriage now. I love that. And that's the thing, guys. All of us started our business. I'm guessing all of us started this freelancing path because you wanted some element of that work-life balance, right? Like, I want to be able to have the freedom life. And so some of us, though, can get into the business so much that it starts to feel like, oh, I don't know if I really am living like free inside of my business either. And so that's some of the tasks for me, some of the things that I decided early on in my business that have really, really helped me along the way. Or some of these are decisions that I didn't know at the very beginning, but over time are some things that I have decided that would make this whole journey between mom and business easier. Okay. So the first thing that I decided, and I just realized there's a typo in it. So let me change it real quick. There we go. First thing I decided in general, and this again applies to anyone, I decided that I was just going to stop feeling guilty. I don't know about you guys, but especially when I first started my business, I felt like anytime I was working on my business, I felt guilty for not being with my kids. Anytime I was with my kids, I felt guilty for not spending more time on my business. And that's no way to live, honestly. And there's some tools that we can talk about how to like balance your time well. But if you are doing everything in your power to balance all of the spinning plates and you still have this like just deep sense of guilt, it's time for you to look inward and really evaluate where that is coming from. Because for me, I had tied so much of my worth to my productivity, to other people's approval, to what people thought of me. And I realized that, like, I'm never going to please anyone. And a lot of the things that I thought maybe people were thinking about me were probably all just in my head, anyways, right? I don't know if anybody else is that way. And so for me, a huge thing that I had to come to the decision was, you know what? As long as I feel like I'm doing the best that I can do, that I'm giving 100%, that it's okay. I'm just going to stop feeling guilty. I know the very, like, when that came up first was when I started really getting, I mean, my business grew very quickly, right? I was able to get a lot of clients, and one of the first things I decided was to have somebody come into the house a few days a week. I think it was 3 days a week. There was this college kid that she would come in, and I would lock myself in my room, and for a few hours a day, 3 days a week, I would just go and I'd work, and I loved that time. Like, I treasured it so much. But it was like also coupled with this guilt of like, oh my gosh, I'm not with my kids. And that a big realization that I made during that season was for me, like, it's okay if there's other people that love my children. Like what is wrong with somebody else mentoring and loving and pouring into my kids as long as I feel that person is, a safe person. And so, which I totally felt about this girl, like she loved my kids so much. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with somebody else pouring love into my kids, right? And so that was a huge thing for me. And our family has gone through multiple iterations of what daily life looks like since I started my business. I started it living in Northern Virginia, then we moved to Oklahoma, then we moved to Missouri. And so in each one of those transitions, it was, hey, I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. We're having someone come in the house 1 day a week. My kids are going to an in-house daycare. Now my kids go to school. Like, it's changed over time what that actually looks like. But in each new season, I've had to come to this like, okay, like, do I feel good? Like, am I feeling like this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now? For me, it's a faith element, right? So I put prayer into it, but like, is this what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing right now in this season of life? And if I can say yes wholeheartedly, then I've got to let go of the guilt that creeps up on me saying like, oh, but you should, you should, you should, you should. No, like, there is no rule book, right, on how to do this well. And I think back to, you think back generations and generations and generations ago where it's always supposed to be a community of people raising, I believe, a community that raises children, not just one individual person, you know? And so that's, when we talk about planning, and that's some of the things that we'll talk about next is some of my other decisions around time blocking and scheduling. But for me, if I say, okay, one of the things I'm going to do to create more time for my business is that I'm going to do a babysitting swap where I'll watch my friends' kids 1 day a week, they'll watch my kids 1 day a week, right? We'll do a 1 day a week where we each swap so I get a full day to work. It means being okay with that. And that was a really big thing that I personally had to overcome. So I'm, yeah, seeing you guys. Oh, some of you posting your why. So let me know if that resonates with you at all, because that was a big learning lesson for me, was just, I got to stop feeling guilty, right? As long as I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it just has to end there. Another thing that I really decided was that I decided to become both wildly scheduled and wildly flexible, right? And I think that maybe that's something everyone has to learn. I think especially for moms, it's that whole like if you don't plan to if you don't uh if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail, right? That's the whole thing. And so I am a huge person on taking a like having a plan. What that looks like in my personal life is time blocking. So I'm a huge fan of taking a calendar, whether it's a paper calendar, I use Google Calendar. And so I have my Google Calendar and I have time blocked what I'm going to do every single day and including like the big projects I'm going to work on. And for me, it's a big deal in managing expectations because if you have a running to-do list and you're expecting to get 100 things done and you have set aside 2 hours to work, like you're just setting yourself up to be disappointed in yourself. And so for me, I will time block and I will say, okay, here are the big things that I'm going to get done. I have these three big projects. They're each going to take probably 2 hours a piece. That's a 6 hour day. That's all I've got today. I'm done. And so in my head, I'm only expecting myself to get three big things done. My husband's an Enneagram 3. We each have these like little affirmations that we'll say to each other. And so his affirmation is I have realistic expectations of myself and others because he's big on this. It's just not natural for him to have realistic expectations of himself. And so I'm constantly having to be like, okay, what's realistic for today? What's really going to be able to happen for today so he can set that out, come up with a plan, and just get done those things that are actually realistic for him to get done in that day. So time blocking helps me a lot with that. And I've something new that I've done just this school year, which I am loving so far, is I'm actually setting aside every day for something specific. So for Mondays, my Mondays are a little bit of a flex work day because my kids don't have school. So my mom and Rob, my husband, watches the kids most Mondays, but I'll take every fifth Monday I'll watch the kids and hopefully go do something fun with them. Although yesterday it was like monsoon here. And so it was my day and we barely did anything fun. It was like movie day. So whatever, it's fine. So Mondays are kind of like a flex work day for me. Let me try to get some project work done, catch up on things over the weekend, come up with a plan for the week is really what my Mondays are. My Tuesdays are all my meetings. Every meeting I'm trying to get done on Tuesdays. Wednesdays are my deep work days. So that's like if I have big projects that I need to get done, that's when I'm getting them done. Thursdays for me, for you guys, I would make it another deep work or client work day. For me right now, I'm in a season where I'm shooting a lot of just content, right? So like YouTube videos, social media, things like that. So I'm doing that on Thursdays. And then Fridays I'm doing as a personal flex day. So I can work if I want to, but I'm really trying to like have lunch with a friend, or I went to a workout class with a friend last week, just trying to fit in some of my personal appointments and things like that. Anytime I have a personal appointment, let me make it on Friday. That way the rest of my week is work week. So this is the first time ever I've done kind of like a daily time blocking or like themed work days, and I'm loving it so far. So if it's not something you try. It took me a while to get to that point because I had so many appointments all over the place that I literally had to say like, okay, starting in 2 months, I'm going to start doing these themed work days. And I went ahead and blocked them off. So I made it to where people could only schedule meetings with me on Tuesdays, and that's it, right? So it takes a little bit of time to get there, but I'm loving it so far. So just another way to do time blocking. Another thing that really works for me, again, I have those themed work days, but at the beginning of every day, I have a daily task list. So it's just like, what are my dailies, right? My daily every single morning when I sit down. For me, I do a time of like prayer and journaling. Then I will check Slack. I will check my email. I'll spend some time in our Facebook groups. I will go through, we use ClickUp. So like, what are the urgent things in ClickUp? I'll plan out my day. So I will go and I have like this little daily task list that I do. It takes me about 30 minutes every morning to do. And that just starts the day off with this like, okay, now I have a grasp on the day. I know what I'm doing, and I've gotten all those little things that could come up and kind of pop up. Like I don't keep my email up all day. I've turned all notifications off on my phone. So I don't get a notification if somebody comments on something on Facebook. I don't get a notification if I get an email, anything like that. Like there's no distractions when I'm doing the other thing, just so I can be fully focused. So again, I'm trying to be as wildly scheduled as possible. Another thing that helps with that is in the evenings. My husband and I, if you're, if you're married or you have somebody else that you're doing life together with, I think getting on the same page about your schedule, something that helps us. And to be honest with you, we're doing this most of the time, but in the nights that we don't do it, I'm like, oh, I feel it the next day. I'm like, we should have done our nightly meeting. So I literally made it as one of like our Google Calendar things. In fact, I'll like pull up my calendar. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but as one of our things, I have nightly routine in here. Okay. And just, it literally is just, you can't see it, but it's like make our kids lunches, fill like our water and muscle recovery for the next day. What is tomorrow's schedule and to-do list? So, hey, are you taking the kids to school? Am I taking the kids to school? I try to plan out like my food and our meals for the next day. Like, hey, what are we cooking tomorrow? What's for dinner? Did I set meat out to defrost? That kind of thing. Right. And so literally it becomes just this nightly, okay, we both have a grasp on what's going on tomorrow. So some people are big morning routine people. I don't know about you, but mornings at our house are chaos. Like, I wish I could be a morning routine person, but it would cause me to have to wake up at like 5 a.m. and I'm just not about that life right now. So um, I am more of like a nighttime routine person. So it's just, hey, every night, let's close off the day with here's our plan for tomorrow so I can wake up and know what's happening. So I think that, if you're nighttime, let me know if you're more of like a night. I'm actually more of a morning person. It's just our mornings are so early because my kids go to school so early. And if I even try to wake up early, it's like, I don't know about you guys, but I can't wake up early because my kids just wake up anyways. Like they're on the complete other side of the house. And if my alarm clock goes off at 5 a.m., you better believe my kids are up at like 5:05 right there with me. And I'm like, this was useless. So I just gave up on that. So instead of doing a morning routine, I do a nighttime routine, and that's what works for me. So I think it's just that element of like that routine and the planning, right? Becoming wildly scheduled and then becoming wildly flexible as well. That's huge for me because as much as you plan, there's going to be curveballs. And we all know this. If you are a parent, there are the curveballs. The kid wakes up sick. Hey, there's this last minute thing that I forgot. We have to run to Walmart and make a diagram of the solar system, whatever. Like there's always the last minute things. And so I think that for me, I come up with a plan and I stick to my plan until I don't. And for me, it's whenever a wrench comes in the plan, I just rewrite the plan. It's not oh, my day went to crap, right? Oh, my day is just totally ruined now because it's not going to plan. No. Okay, here's this new curveball. Let me work it into the plan, right? And so it may mean that I don't work today. And that has happened before where something gets thrown in and it's just like, cool, I'm not working today. Let me see if there's some other time this week that I was planning to do personal things that maybe I'll work instead, right? And so for me, it's a curveball, and that flexibility comes not with like, oh, here's a curveball, we'll just throw it all out the window. It's like, nope, here's a curveball. How does the plan need to adjust and change now? Let me know if this is something similar that you guys do in the comments. Let's see. I like the idea. I've been doing something similar based on my work and day off schedule. Tina's totally a night person. I am a morning person that's married to a night person. And so, and I'm the worst because we've started going through Big Bang Theory. And so every night, well, not every night, but most nights we'll like watch one and then I'm the worst. It's like, he's always like, all right, let's start off. And I'm like, no, one more. It's so bad. It's so bad because I've become the less disciplined one at night. It's terrible. Rona's a night person as well. Nighttime routine. Okay, you guys are my night people. Wow. No, yay. The no morning people club. Let's start the anti 5 a.m. club. There's seasons in life too. Like I've had seasons in life where waking up really worked well. And this season of life, like again, if I just want like decompression time, which is what our evenings are, it's like kids go to bed now at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it's just like, let's just breathe and relax and have fun and just whatever. Do our nightly schedule as quick as we can so then we can chill. This is, oh my gosh, nothing has ever been said truer. I was a morning person until my kids became morning people. So that's totally it. Like once my kids are older, maybe I'll return to being a morning person, but for now it's just worthless. Awesome. Oh, wow, Ingrid, 5:45. I'm jealous. I literally I have more energy in the mornings. I actually have the most energy. Like I'm dead at night. I can't get work done. I know for me too. I think a big part of this is just learning yourself. Because again, I can sit here and tell you what works for me, but that's not necessarily what's going to work for you. So for me, I have found that a nighttime routine is it is that, what do they say? Like the 80-20 rule, like the 20, what's the smallest thing you could do that's going to affect you in the biggest way. And so it's like I could try to set 100 goals for myself, but I know if I do this one thing, if I have a nightly routine where again, I'm planning my schedule, I'm planning my food, I'm planning all of the things the night before. If I do that, it's just like, like everything else works out. It helps my mental health, it helps my schedule, it helps my physical health, it helps all the things. If I spend like 15 minutes making a plan the night before, it's crazy. So what's like the smallest thing that you could do that could impact the most amount of things? And so for me, it's me and my spouse getting together, actually making a plan for the next day. We have found that to be true over time. Okay. Here's another thing that helps me. We're talking about balancing mom and business. For me, a huge learning lesson and I was so bad at this in the very beginning. I was really bad at it. And then I felt like I got really good at it. And then COVID just ruined everything. And I became really bad at it again. So now I'm getting back to being good at it. So I decided to let mom time be mom time and work time be work time. And I think it's just this idea of being fully wherever you are, and to be honest, I struggle with that a lot. I talked about my husband being an Enneagram 3. I'm an Enneagram 7, which means my head is always in the clouds, always thinking of new ideas. Never like being fully present is really difficult. So his affirmation that like I'm always feeding into him is like, hey, have realistic expectations of yourself and others. For me, it's I am fully present, engaged, and grounded, because it's just really hard for me to be fully present in the moment that I'm in because I'm already thinking of 1,000 things over here. And so this one is hard for me, but it's something that, at least on a practical level, still mental level, I don't think I'm 100% there, but practically, if I am working, I am working. And then when the day is over, like when my kids get home, done. Close the laptop, shut down the computer, whatever it is. I am fully there because at least me, I can't do both. Like it doesn't work if I'm trying to work and the kids are coming in and, you know, it was like our first, I mean, that was totally COVID, was when I was like, oh my gosh, I got really bad at it because I'd be like, okay, kids, go play. And then I'd be trying to work and then getting interrupted every 5 seconds. And it just wouldn't work. So I've dedicated work hours where my kids are either are at school, are with another person, basically not in the house. Or, if your kids have naps still, it's nap time. Or if they're watching a movie, that is another time. Like, and again, I'm not saying my kids watch a ton of TV. I'm not saying that they don't watch a ton of TV. I watched a lot of TV as a kid and I turned out just fine. No, but like, again, I've decided to stop feeling guilt. Like if it is a Saturday and I'm like, you know what? We're going to watch a movie. The movie's over. Okay, watch one more show. I'm not going to stress about it. And I'm just not, if that's a time that I had designated for work. So again, I think it's all about that balance. And for me, I know that if my kids have the TV on, I legit can get real work done. So I will do that sometimes as well. And so I think it's just finding a rhythm that works really well for you. Again, you can do the trade off of like, okay, hey, spouse or mom or sister or friend, like, can you take the kids on these days at these set times? And you know that it's dedicated work time. So for me, that's a really big deal, is just letting my mom time, I can be fully present. I am there. I'm not oh, tabs open. Da, da, da. My daughter, it was a really big realization for me when I think it was during COVID that my daughter said something about me working a lot, and I was like, I haven't worked like all weekend. Like, what do you like? She was like, you've worked a lot today. And I'm like, I haven't worked a lot today. What are you talking about? I haven't worked at all today. And she's like, yeah, you have. You've had your like. I was looking at my phone. Apparently, I was like looking at my phone a lot that day, and she just equivalate. If I'm in front of a screen, it is mom is working. And so that's even something that I've tried to been since that time really intentional about is like, and you can ask my husband, I'm terrible. I don't even know where my phone is half the time because again, when I am with my kids, I am with my kids. So I'm not in front of a screen. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm like fully with my kids or I am fully working and I have those two options and that's it. Or, with people, not just with my kids. So I'm just trying to be better about being fully in the thing that I'm at. And a big part of that is just me realizing that I can't get this time back. I don't know how many of you guys have kids that are grown. I'm realizing every single year how quickly this time with my kids are now, my kids are 7 and 8 currently. My daughter's about to turn 9. And I'm just like, every single year, I'm like, this is going by so fast. And I want to have a business. Like, this is the life that I want. And sometimes, I don't know if you guys, having kids, have done this before. Like, I will compare myself sometimes to people who are single or married without kids. And in my head, I'm like, they're moving so much faster than I am. And that's something that I've dealt with, honestly. It's something that I've struggled with in the past is this like they're just achieving their goals so much quicker. It's almost like this sounds terrible, but I get this like sense of jealousy of like, oh my gosh, they like, I wish I would have started my business sooner when I had as much free time as I had when I was single, da 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 da. And the reality is that like, no, like this is the life that I want. Like I want to be married. I want to have kids. I want to have a good work-life balance. And if at the end of the day, my business grows a little slower because of that, like, okay, so be it. And I don't think it is when I look in retrospect. I remember at one point I was in this mastermind and it was me, mom, married with 2 kids, and it was like 4 single people. And so there were 5 of us in this little mastermind group. And every single week, without fail, I would show up and, like, hey, what'd you guys work on this week? They'd all say what they worked on. And then it was me, it'd be like, "Brrrr," and every week. And my business was growing faster and like all this stuff. And they're all just like, what is going on? And so I was like, well, tell me what like a given day is for you. Right. And so I had one of my friends, he was like, this guy in his 20s, like really young 20s. They were all younger than me too. And he starts spouting out. He's like, well, I wake up around like 9 or 10 and I usually go to the gym. I'll grab breakfast with a friend. I'll come home and work for a little while. And then I'll go take a walk and then I'll do this. And then, I'll work for like a few hours at night. And so all in all, it was just kind of this like, yeah, I kind of work whenever I want. And I was like, okay. And he's like, tell me about your work day. And I was like, well, I have 4 hours at this time. I had 4 hours, 4 dedicated work hours a day. And I was like, I get up. I have from 9 to 1, I think it was. I have from 9 to 1 to get as much done as I possibly can. And I just bust it for 4 straight hours. And what was crazy is that I would be able to get way more done in 4 concentrative, devoted hours than, my 20-year-old friends were all day who had no schedule. So I started viewing my time crunch, this like, oh, I have so much going on in my life. My life is crazy. I'm taking care of all these people. I only have this certain amount of hours. I actually started looking at it as a benefit and not a disadvantage. And that, I mean, this is just me being really vulnerable. Like there have been seasons in my life that I looked at me starting my business once I had kids and when I had a family and all this stuff, I honestly looked at it as a disadvantage, and that pains me to say, but it's true. And I think that when I was a part of that mastermind and experiencing this situation, there was like this wake up call of like, Abby, this isn't a disadvantage. Number one, this is the life you want. So like enjoy the thing you have. And then number two, like this actually is an advantage. Your scarcity of time, or this small amount of time. What is it, like Parkinson's law? I think that it's like you'll get done the amount of, like the things you have to do will fill the amount of space that you have. So if I have 5 things to do and I have 2 hours to do them, I will get 5 things done in 2 hours. If I have 5 things to do and I have 7 hours to do them, it will take me 7 hours to get those things done. And so I started looking at my lack of time as an advantage, and that was a huge, huge game changer for me. Okay, I have one more. Let me jump to the comments real quick. Yeah, it helps a lot. My days are longer for productivity. Oh yeah, yeah. Ingrid, someone our 4:45 a.m. wake up girl. I also have a nighttime routine team, so that's really soon. I'm telling you, those routines, so good. So excited for this. I'm homeschooling mom, trying to figure out how to balance all. Oh, yay, Cassidy! I saw your ticket for the in-person. I'm so excited to meet you. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, I know homeschooling, like it's no joke, and it's just kind of the all right, when are the times that I could carve out, and knowing it may be 2 hours a day. It might be a small amount of time, but just looking at that as an advantage that, man, those 2 hours, they're not going to be distracted time. They're going to be devoted time. How much can I get done in that amount of time? So good. Family first, business will come and be there. Nothing's more important than time. Yep. So true. I'm feeling that so much. Um, so good, you guys. I hate always being on a routine, but it helps. I mean, to be honest, like I'm not naturally a structured, I think, routine kind of person. But man, it helps. It helps so much. I've learned that I actually, so again, I'm an Enneagram 7, so everything's just motivated by fun, and routine and structure is not fun. But I have realized that the more routine and structured I can be, I actually do have more fun because I'm not stressed out all the time. It's like I remember I schedule my vacations. Does anybody else do that? Who schedules their vacations? So we're gonna go on a week-long trip. I will literally will create a Google Doc for every trip that we go on, and I will like, I mean, I'm saying like timed by like 15-minute increments. I will have everything planned. I will pre-plan what restaurants we're going to. I will pre-plan how long it'll take to get places, transportation, all the things. And my husband does a lot of this now too. He's like the logistics director for our family and for the business. So he does a lot of this now. But in the beginning, it was usually me, and I would literally plan like to the 15 minutes what we were doing every second of our vacation. But it would help me have more fun on the vacation, and I love planning things. So like, I don't know, the routine of it. Again, it's that having the plan, but then you can be flexible with it. For like, oh, let's try this place instead. Or, oh, this restaurant's closed. Okay, let's look at another one, right? You just change the plan if you have to. Okay. And then the last thing that has helped me, again, ways that I balance becoming, or balance being a mom and being in business, decided to stop feeling guilty, decided to become wildly scheduled and wildly flexible. I decided to let mom time be mom time and work time be work time. And then lastly, I decided to outsource and automate as many personal tasks as possible. This is something I've really tried to focus on in the last year. Again, it's like, what do I want my time to be spent doing? And so some things, if I, financially am able to outsource them, I will. Like, we have somebody that comes and helps inside of our home now, which is amazing. Like she's literally a godsend. And and so that's like cooking and cleaning and just activities like that, running errands. And that's been a huge help. And obviously we didn't start out with that. That's something that over time, as the business has grown, I realized, okay, I can be a more attentive business owner if I have some of these things in my life. Some people cleaning de-stresses them. Oh my gosh, like I wish I was one of those people. Like I'm just not naturally a super clean person. Like I'm a little more messy. And so that really helps me to have somebody else who can carry that burden because I'm just terrible at it. Again, so maybe it's not like having somebody come into the home like I understand. Maybe it is, maybe it's childcare, maybe it is somebody to clean your house once a month, something like that. Maybe it's a meal prep service, right? Maybe it's like if you're responsible for meals for your family. Maybe it's okay, I'm going to spend a little bit extra to do a meal delivery service or one of those like HelloFresh things or whatever, right? There's apps out there. There's one called like Meal Lime. I used it for a while. Meal Lime, Meal Lime, like the fruit. And that was really cool because you could like plan meals and it would like do all the groceries and blah, 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 and it was like really quick, easy meals. So it's like, again, it's not always like outsourcing to a person. Sometimes it's outsourcing to a service or just automations you can put in place, like a little bit of work on the front end that you can do to make something that takes time in your life easier on the back end. It's another thing that we've done is we've automated most of our personal bills. So we actually have two separate accounts now. When our money comes in, I know like what my monthly reoccurring bills are, and those all go into one account. And I set them all up on auto pay, right? So every single bill that could be automated goes through on auto pay. And then we are trying, again, we're not the best at this yet, but we're trying to have like a weekly financial meeting where we go over like the miscellaneous spending. So we're keeping track of like our money in every dollar is an app that we're using, and then going over that on a weekly basis and paying any like miscellaneous bills. So like healthcare bills or like those one-time expenses. And so automating and kind of systematizing one area of our life that felt really heavy. Like our finances felt really heavy to me. And so we're in the process of automating that as much as possible. So not having to pay bills. It was a lot to set up in the beginning. But now that it's all automated, it really, really helps. So another thing is just like something as simple as grocery shopping. I don't know how many of you guys are fans of like Walmart delivery or Walmart pickup. I'm a huge fan of it. This is really terrible and don't think I'm a bad person, but I found out if you schedule it early in the morning that you can just pick it up anytime. You don't have to do it in your allotted time slot. So I'll just always pick 8 a.m. and then I'll go pick it up whenever I have time. Terrible. I'm a bad person. Because they won't put it away till the next night. So yeah, that's what I do is that I like do all of our grocery orders with pickup. I'm trying to think of more things that we've automated, but as many things that I can delegate or automate to a person or to a system, I've tried to do in my life. What are some things that you guys have automated or outsourced in your personal life? I would absolutely love, love to hear it. It's always, it's always just this ongoing thing, and obviously automating business things are important as well. But we're talking more about personal life and family here, so I'd love to hear what has worked for you. Oh, cleaning is a distressor for me, man. I wish it was. All right, awesome. So, you guys, let me know what of this was helpful. What would you love to hear more about from me and my team? I know that we're going to start planning out our Q4 and 2023 content for you guys, and I'd love to hear what you would like to see more of inside of our weekly time together. Would you like me to bring on more guest experts? Would you like me to bring more savvy team members on? Would you like me to bring more, VAs, successful students on? What topics would you like to hear about? Let me know in the comments because we want this to be something that benefits you on a weekly basis. So what is it that we can be talking about? Or who is it that we could be bringing on that could really help you with where you're at? Business, personal, all things having to do with virtual assistants in the freedom life. That's what we want to talk about here on these weekly Tuesday live streams. And then just as a reminder as well, don't forget that this weekend is our Savvy Party. So the virtual event will be happening from 5 to 6 p.m. Central Time. And then if any of you guys do want to attend live, we do still have some tickets available. So you go to savvyparty.com or the virtualsavvy.com/savvy party, and you can get information there both on the virtual event and the in-person event, which is happening in Fort Worth this weekend. I can't wait to get to meet some of you guys in person. It's going to be a really, really fun event. I'm so looking forward to it. And yay to reaching 100,000 members in our group. I love it. That group started August 1st, 2016. So it's just so cool to see how far it's come. I love it. Cleaning service, automated bill payments. You guys want to see more savvy student stories? I love it. Let me answer a few questions because I'm seeing a few here. Oh, this is cool. Sorry, I'm looking at all the I'm looking at all of the comments you guys have put. Amal said, I order groceries via mobile app and they're delivered to me at home. Yep, we just got where we can get ours delivered, which is so nice. Amazon Fresh reminds you of your favorite groceries. All I have to do is remove, add, and approve. Love it. Yes, so good. And then you guys are doing more. Yes. Nick asked if we'll be in Atlanta. So this event this weekend in Fort Worth, I'm hoping is the first of many meetups. So we used to do meetups all the time, 2018, 2019, anytime that I traveled to a new city, and they usually weren't a huge party like this. It'd literally be like, hey, we're all going out to, I'm in Washington, D.C. Let's just meet at this coffee shop for an hour or two and just meet and chat. Or, hey, when I was in Chicago, we all went and got pizza, right? Like, it was just, hey, I'm going to be in this city. I'm going to be here anyways. Let's just meet up. And so it's something that I'm really wanting to add. And we fly Delta, so we end up going through Atlanta all the time, Nick. So I am sure that I will be in Atlanta coming up soon. I can't wait to just start these meetups again. So more to come on that, planning to do those. And we've even talked about, maybe bringing some of our team members. So even if I personally can't be at a meetup, maybe just starting to have them more across the US because, yeah, you guys should be meeting each other in person. It's huge. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, so we had one question here that I'll answer before we go, and it's a good one. The difference between Hello Savvy and Savvy Vault. Yes. So essentially, we have two main programs over at the Virtual Savvy. So the Virtual Savvy is my virtual assistant training program. It teaches everything that I learned on growing, scaling a virtual assistant business, and we've helped over 3,000 students grow and scale their own VA business as well. That is everything that we teach over at the Virtual Savvy with our free content, with our YouTube videos, with our blogs, everything, these live streams, right? Inside of the Virtual Savvy, we have two main programs. One is the Savvy System. The Savvy System is that step-by-step course that teaches you everything you need to know to start, grow, scale your business from scratch. Everything from choosing your services to your rate to how to market, how to be legal, right? How to do all of your processes and onboarding, how to hire a team, all of the things. It's all in one course that we sell 2 times a year. That is the Savvy System. We also have a product inside the Virtual Savvy that is called Savvy Vault. That's our tech and industry training membership. So if you want to learn Canva or ConvertKit or Kajabi, or you want to be a Pinterest VA, or you want to be a real estate VA, we have over 80 tech and industry training courses inside of the Vault that it's just a monthly reoccurring membership. So you can join anytime, you can cancel anytime, come in, take the courses you need, and then cancel. Or some people just have it as kind of a back pocket resources. Hey, a client asked me if I know how to use ConvertKit. And I can say, you know what, I'm not familiar with it, but I have a course in it, so I'll start taking it this weekend. And so you can kind of have it as that back pocket resource to always be improving your tech skills. So that's the Savvy System and Savvy Vault. Again, those are the two products that are housed under the Virtual Savvy, which is our virtual assistant training program. Now, starting in guys, just a few weeks, Something that I've been working on for 2 years is launching, and I'm so, so excited. It's called Hello Savvy, and Hello Savvy is our new freelancer marketplace that is opening. So, if you've ever used a site like Upwork or Fiverr or freelancer.com, those are freelancer marketplaces. It's a place where jobs get posted and freelancers can apply to those jobs. So, we are building a freelancer marketplace. However, ours is going to be unlike anything else that you've seen. The goal of our freelancer marketplace is that we are a connection platform. And so some people have looked at it like it's kind of like a dating site for VAs and clients. I'm like, it totally is. So you have an ability as a freelancer to come and create a beautiful profile to show off your services, and then job opportunities to be posted on the site that you can apply to. There's a lot of video integration into the site because the whole idea is that you are really connecting person to person. It's not a site where you just hire task doers. It's a site where you hire a real person to help you in your business. Or if you're a freelancer, you can apply for jobs knowing that company's mission, purpose, values, because those are actually required of the business owner, that they put their mission and company values in before they can even post a job opportunity. So we're really excited about the platform. It's the technical launch date is September 26th, but for everybody who's on our virtual savvy wait list, if you're on our virtual savvy email list, you guys are going to get access starting September 12th. So that's literally like a little over a week from now, and I'm so pumped for it. So get ready, be checking your email, because we are going to be launching Hello Savvy so soon. It's been a long time coming, guys. We've spent 2 years building this thing, and I'm so excited that it's finally going to exist in the world. Yes, super pumped. Can't wait for Hello Savvy. I agree. So excited. Laura, can I join the Savvy system? Email our team, hello@thevirtualsavvy.com. We may be able to get you in. So essentially, we do 2 live launches a year, but then we do special promos throughout the year as well. So we might be able to get you in the back door. So just email us, hello@thevirtualsavvy.com. Cassidy says, I started Savvy System a few months ago. It's been so amazing. I'm also in Savvy Vault. Yay, Cassidy. I can't wait to hug you this weekend. It's going to be so awesome. Oh, Ingrid's from Seattle and wants to meet up. You know, I have never been to Washington or Oregon. Like, I've never done like the Northwest, and I think I need to. So we should put that one on the list as well. We'd love to have you back in the DMV. I'm coming. My husband, his whole family is still in, Northern Virginia. So we actually go to DC area quite a bit. Awesome. So good. Destiny said I enrolled yesterday after a deadline. Yeah. So you probably were put through like this little backdoor funnel that we have. So you can, you should be in the right program as long as it was a virtual savvy. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every time I get to hang out with you. I hope that you have an awesome rest of the day. And don't forget to sign up for the Savvy Party. We're going to be having a blast and giving away over $15,000 in prizes. It's going to be awesome. Have a great rest of the week.